Guten Tag. Good evening to everybody. How are we all?
Good, thanks, Martin. That's an interesting introduction. Someone's excited for Bayern Munich, aren't
they? Yeah, I'm just getting ready. By the way, Trouble Father's gone. I'm now the tapping merchant because apparently City only have a tapping merchant up top.
Yeah, bicycle tapping.
Acrobatic bicycle kicks are now tapping merchants. Anyway, good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Very well. Good morning, good evening. Good to see you again, Rich. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
Looked like you had a nice day on Harvey yesterday.
I was on Never a Foul, so that was why I was a little bit late. I had to then come off that and come onto this. Make myself a drink.
Oh, good. Looked like you had a good day on Harvey yesterday, Rich.
Yeah, it was on Friday. It was good.
Yeah, nice one.
Just Pat's hijacking the stream, talk about Rich's social life.
Yeah, well, you are a bit outnumbered, okay, mate. So we have to keep a couple of minutes aside to talk about God's country and God's city.
God's country.
We should start talking. We could start talking in Australian, really confuse them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
But we'll save it for another day.
Yeah.
The difference says one's Australian and one just moved out there, so behave you down there, sunshine.
Yeah.
Just remember, mate, what you try to do to me at Colombia, I'll do the same when you come to Australia.
By the way, bit of breaking news. Martin got a score correct for a change.
Breaking news. Don't talk about yourself in the third person.
No, there's just no need for that. What's that about? But by the way, did anyone else have a little meltdown at halftime, like everyone else was doing? What is it about our fans? Can someone tell me why our fans have meltdowns when we're not 4-0 up after 10 minutes? I'm sorry. I have to say it. All I watched at halftime was too slow. Crap. What's going on?
Well, I think, after 40 minutes, it was poised to be one of those games that could go one of two ways. A frustrating, we got that goal at exactly the right time, I thought.
Alan was not happy. Alan bombarded me for 45 minutes telling me how crap we were. I have invited him on the show.
Alan
At the moment, he's declined. Will you get off your Peroni stuff, FIFA? Anyway, Michael Feeney, hello. How are you, mate? FIFA, good evening. Noah Pearson's in the building. How are you, mate? Behave. What was Walker?
He is a Patrick, so.
We're going to get into Walker. Because Walker has had, we'll get into it anyway about Pep's comments. Woo-hoo, I hope you're ready, Rich. Anyway, about your little rotation thing, because that's coming back to haunt you this evening.
Martin, it's a fact, and it's correct.
It's not a fact.
So it doesn't matter, does it?
Right. Quickly, Rich, I'm sure you've got to go off air in about 5 minutes. So
I have the ability to adapt my mind to different footballing situations and not try and claim that everything is always black and white at all times. It never is.
There's always shades of grey. But Rich
just like always shades of grey.
That way you're wearing that baseball cap on.
And to be honest, Patrick, if we don't start the same 11 for every game the rest of the season, I will be proved right. So there's absolutely no chance.
Good evening to Jack.
Agree with you, mate. Absolutely.
We're going to talk about it, Sean. Good evening, Blue Heart. How are you, mate? Hope you're well, Sean. Good evening. Jamza, I think spot on. You're agreeing about Peroni, I'm presuming. Jack Grealish haters getting the bin.
Yep.
Grealish on fire. I need to get that chat going. I haven't got a fresh trim. I've got a cap on because my hair's a mess. And it's actually been quite warm in Manchester today. Good evening, Spencer and Mark. How are you, mate? Martin's gone bald. Martin's been going bald for a while.
I'm now saying warm in Manchester. What are you talking about? What, 12, 13 degrees?
Yeah, I had a meltdown at half-time. There was a few people having a little meltdown at half-time. Believe me, there was. It's like singing about city and drugs, not very intelligent. You're not down to that chant, Blue Heart. You're not a Fleetwood Mac fan. Ah, woo. Sorry. I'm just getting ready for Wembley to sing it. Their only negative was a goal we conceded. We will talk about that. And Kyle Walker, don't you worry, because Kyle Walker got absolutely rinsed on that goal. Palmer should have started. No, title running, mate. Brighton robbed. Yes, they were. Rich is spot on for me. Well, statistically, you're wrong.
No,
anyway,
actually,
you're wrong.
Statistically, it's a fact.
You think 75% is a low number?
75%. If you've got 14 or 15 players, which you want to say,
I'm not doing this
then
again.
Changing 2 or 3 divided by that is about what's 3 divided by 15, Martin, or 14?
3 divided by 15.
Yeah,
3 into 15.
3 into 15 is 5.
About 20%.
20%. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's the opposite. It's 20%. It's a fifth, right?
All
so
right.
that's why you might be going wrong. That's why you're going wrong, Martin. You don't do maths.
No.
So you don't quite understand 25%.
Pat said 3 into 15.
Well, okay, Pat doesn't know maths then.
So hang on a minute.
No, that's why I work for a bloody airline.
20%.
Anyway,
we are consistently playing about 15 or 16 players, and consistently they're all getting game time.
I do get that, Blue Heart. I understand. Some people not very happy with the chant. I understand that. I do get that. So yes, it's not something I would want my child to sing when he's down at Wembley, but that's probably what mine going to do. I'm going to end up singing it. I know I will. Right, let's get into good evening as well. Tom, if you are new to the channel, hello and welcome to the family. Please, if you can, be so kind, hit that subscribe button because Rich needs some more beer money. And also, if you can give it a big thumbs up, that would be amazing. We're expecting a load in the chat. We always get your comments up. If you are desperate to get a comment up before somebody else, super chats are open, are available, but it's not something we ever ask for, beg for, or expect. They are something that is always appreciated. Still waiting for Alan to tell me whether he's coming on. He's just ignoring me now. Anyway, let's get into the starting 11. So Manchester City played Southampton down at St Mary's earlier on. And the starting 11 that played was Edison in goal. Excuse me, I'm just burping everywhere. Edison was in goal. We played Ake, Ruben Diaz, Akanji, Roderick, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Stones, Haaland, Mahrez, and Jackie Grealish. The bench was Walker, Phillips, Laporte, Ortega, Julian Alvarez, Bernardo Silva, Sergio Gomez, Palmer, and Lewis. And the Southampton team that is now known as Manchester City EDS. Banzuma, Maitland-Niles, Bednarik, Bella Kotchop, Walker-Peters, Lavia, Ward-Prowse, Iliounsi, Walcott, Alcaraz, and Soleimani. So, start with you, Pat. When you saw the starting 11, any surprises? Was Haaland the big surprise or what?
No, Pep's press conference prior to the game had, I think, led most of us to believe he was going to start. And what you alluded to in previous shows, Martin, it doesn't make any sense if we have a cold start Haaland for Bayern Munich. So it made perfect sense for him to start. Had Alvarez been put in the starting 11, I wouldn't have had any problems with that whatsoever. So yeah, apart from Haaland and Alvarez, it was pretty much the same lineup as it was against Liverpool. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was effectively the same. Yeah. So when I saw it, I wasn't necessarily too surprised. And again, I think the lineup effectively is is what we expected for this game and what we're probably going to expect come Tuesday.
Yeah, you telling me that there won't be a lot of changes, Pat? No, I'm not doing it again. I'm joking. I'm winding Powder Oaks up now. Rich, starting 11.
Well, I think we kind of discussed it quite a bit the other day, and I think there's a mix about whether Alvarez or Haaland will start, but generally, I think that it probably 9 or 10 we'd have expected. So, and Haaland, as we said, I think the feeling was Haaland would probably start over Alvarez just because we're unlikely to have anywhere near the space, against Southampton that we had against Liverpool. So no, it was good. Good. And we've had a fair bit of time off recently, so I don't think the tiredness is in the legs yet.
Yeah. By the way, 21 goals, in 4 games.
Did you see the stat? I think they popped up at the end of the game where we had 31 touches in opposition box to Southampton's 8.
Yeah. Now, we talked about it on Thursday, and we talked about it on the 9320 podcast, and we talked about it on True City Fan and Beta as well. All the links down below in the description for all those channels. And we said, I said this. I thought this would be a trickier time than Liverpool. And what I meant by that is I didn't mean, you're looking at it in the same scoreline. But I always thought Southampton were going to be stubborn little sods for the first 20, 30 minutes. And if you look at what they did, yes, was we slow? Probably. But I think what we were doing was trying to figure out a way around Southampton's play. Trying to sort of probe and technique and see what we could do. Because if you look what they were doing, very good for the first 30 minutes. They were doubling up on KDB. They were doubling up on Jack. They were not allowing any room or space whatsoever. And Lavia for the first 30 minutes was just phenomenal. The guy was just the linchpin for their midfield for the first 30 minutes. And I just thought, and that's where I thought, if we can just stay patient, tire them out, find little gaps, which we did, and I know second half we changed formation, and that's where I said I think we'll score the goals, but we'll get them later on in the game. And to me, it was bob on. I don't know what anyone else thought, but I thought I wasn't expecting Southampton to come out and just lie down like everyone thought they were going to do.
No, you can't lie down. Even relegation clubs know they can't lie down for 90 minutes in the hope of getting a point or sneaking a late goal, or in their case, a James Ward-Prowse free kick or something like that.
Yeah. Where's the gap between lying down and frustrating? The way City have lost all the games against rubbish teams we've lost to is by being frustrated. But where's the gap between that and lying down? Is it just the intensity with which you play your 2 banks of 5? And, is it purely down to whether you succeed on the break or not? Because I do think we talk about lying down, but I think like lying down and frustrating is exactly the same thing. And frustrating works, but lying down doesn't. So is it not just the name we use, whether it works or not?
No, Rich, because I think the fans were. I don't know if you saw it, Rich, but there was a lot of fans who were very upset in the first 30 minutes. There was. I think. Yeah. I think people look at it and they look Southampton the 20th. We should be coming out there and ball rolling within the first 5 or 10 minutes. I think that's what the expectation was.
Well, that's our expectation, but I'm talking about Southampton. Southampton going to that game, and that's what Pat was talking about. Southampton going to the game, and they, what is the difference between a team going in with two playing really defensively and lying down versus a team going in playing very defensively and frustrating? Is that down to City or is it down? What's the difference?
I think for me, when I say lie down, what I mean is that Southampton. I think people thought when I say my analogy of lie down is that they don't try. You know, when you see some teams used to go to Old Trafford, didn't they, Rich? And they were beaten in the tunnel. Psychologically, they were done in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And United went out and for the 90 minutes just overran them, outdid them. What I mean by that's what I meant by lying down. I think some people thought from minute one City were going to be on it and Southampton weren't going to do anything. They weren't going to be frustrating. They weren't going to low block. They weren't going to park the bus up. They weren't going to do what they did. What they do. And I think that's what a lot of the expectation was. And I think sometimes, I think it's a football fan thing. I'm not just saying it's a Manchester City. I think it's a football fan thing. I think we look at the opposition where they are and we go, oh, that's easy. We do it in cup games. This is why you see so many shocks in cup games. Because say you get Peterborough, for example, no disrespect to Peterborough, in an FA Cup game, all fans go, yeah, we're smashing them 9-0. And then they turn up on the day and it's the total opposite. For the first 30 minutes, you sat there going, we can't bloody do anything here. And that's what I meant by the line.
It takes an hour to grind out the first goal. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we pay enough respect to the opposition sometimes.
Yeah. There were glimpses there where Southampton did not play like a team that's at the bottom of the Premier League.
No, they ran out of gas. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And we overrun them.
Mm.
And that's why we say sometimes when you go to these big away games, you're quieten the crowd down for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like Arsenal when they go to Anfield. First job's quieting down Anfield.
There's also the quality. I mean, it's also execution. You know, you looked at in the first half, the Southampton player goes clear and, you know, Ake's chasing him down and he actually had self-doubt halfway on the run and slowed down and let Ake come back a metre or two against him. And then he accelerated again and then obviously gets into the box and he's having doubt and his touch is terrible and Edison comes out well and gets there. But, you know, would Haaland or would Alvarez have done that if they'd have got a break like that? And then for City's first goal, seconds before that, great move by Southampton, and they roll the ball across the area. And had any one of their strikers or midfielders been brave enough to actually be thinking they're going to do something, they could have had someone on the 6-yard box tapping that in. And then a second later, we go down the other end and we clinically finish. So there's a kind of, you do see the quality gap. In that, had City had the two chances Southampton had, we'd have been 2-0 up. And we weren't.
Well, Southampton had that great chance.
There's two. They had two great chances.
Well, I'm talking about the first one was the more, you think, wow. We've got
Lazy Mahrez and De Bruyne one, you mean?
So we did get away with one. I'm going to come to that in a minute, Conway. I'm just starring certain things that I do want to come into. So I'm not ignoring your comments. I'm just, yes, we'll talk about that as well. Pat, do you, was you frustrated or could you understand what was going on? Because City were slow. They were slow. I'll give them that. We were not quite as direct.
Do you feel like they're playing at that pace of play again, where we almost feel like we're going to fall back into the whole conversation of control, like we have in, say, Champions League matches as well? You feel like there was an element of that too? I just think there was a period in that first half where we played like we didn't want to let the game possibly get away from us. We didn't want to be in a position where they may sneak that goal and then they just galvanize for the remainder of the game and then they just become almost impossible to break down. So
do you know what I saw? I saw the team that had already been beaten there this year and were a bit nervous.
Yeah.
And Pep alluded to it.
Yep.
Pep said before the game, we always get a tough one down there.
Yeah. I don't think we've had a what you might say a cruisy performance there from the start. Probably since the FA Cup match we had there last season, and then God before that, I can't even really remember one. It's always been cagey. Even if we do win a game by 1, 2, 3 goal difference, it's never easy. Even a handful of the games that they've played at the Etihad have been, they've had an element of a bit of pressure. They put a bit of pressure on it. So
I do want to.
It goes back to what I say. It's just they're a team that doesn't play like they're 20th in the Premier League.
No, but they are going to go down. They're getting cut adrift. I mean, Rich, can I talk about the Ward-Prowse handball? I get people are going to tell me it was too close to him. But I'm looking at the rule. Again, don't hate the player, hate the game. The rule is now, handball is handball. That's the rule. It's just handball now, whether you bloody like it or not. The VAR didn't even look at it. Does anyone here think that was a penalty?
I've almost given up because there's
what on VAR or just
some of the stuff because like go back. We were having this argument a few weeks ago about Leipzig. Now, to me, the one when we were away was 100% always a penalty, and the one we actually got at home was never a penalty. But people are saying that technically in the rules that one was a penalty. So I've almost given up in that. I don't know. You'd think with VAR that you would have officials good enough to look at something and make a judgment honestly about whether something is, unnatural, deliberate, and whether you got a chance. Because some of the unnatural thing to me, i.e. your arm away from your body, if you jump up, I think there was one against Laporte the other year, which I thought was never a penalty, but under the rules was, if you jump up, you have to lift your arms to get the leverage, to get in the air and stuff. So what's the natural position? I mean, if you stand on the goal line and you go like that, stop the ball, that's unnatural. Or if you go like that and you save it. But some of these ones now are players who are jumping up and the ball's brushing them there from a header that's a metre away, which they could not possibly have done anything else. They've done nothing wrong as a player, and then there's a penalty against them. And yet other weeks, like that one in, Leipzig, you get one that is so obviously a penalty and in an unnatural positioning and actually affects the game, and it's not even noticed. And VAR doesn't look. So it's just, we should just go back to just dodgy refereeing, because I don't understand how VAR can't work, because I watch nearly every other sport I watch has VAR, and you very rarely come away from a cricket game or a rugby league game or whatever, occasionally rugby league maybe, but you don't come away game after game saying, well, why wasn't that looked at, or why was that looked at, or that was a wrong decision, because it's rare. And usually in those sports they also explain what's happening. So you watch cricket or you watch, rugby union, you have it, they'll actually ask the question, they will answer it and explain what the decision is, and there's no controversy. So why has football got to have this random thing where sometimes it looks, sometimes it doesn't? Sometimes they make decision A on a situation, sometimes they make B. It's just a nonsense. And
like Super City,
it could be which VAR referee is rostered for that day.
Yeah, I mean, look at the
referee.
He had one ruled out because it bounced off the back of him.
I mean, I haven't seen the one. Apparently, there's an awful one at Spurs today, which I haven't seen. But
Brighton were robbed.
I haven't. I'll be watching that after this show. But it's just stupid. And and VAR, all you have to do at the end of this season to see whether VAR makes any sense is watch our game at Old Trafford, where the worst decision in Premier League history was made, having been watched back on a screen. I mean, it's just mind-numbing, and it's affecting everyone. Wolves went out of the cup because of a absolutely, and that was because VAR wasn't working or something. I mean, VAR, even when it isn't there, seems to screw things up. I mean,
do you know what?
Sorry, Mark. Just alluding to what Super City said about they seem like when it's VAR for goals that we've scored, they seem to take forever. But when it's goals scored against us, they look at it 10 seconds. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Did anybody notice Jack Grealish's goal? From clearly, even from the angle, from that distant camera on an angle, you can clearly tell he was onside. And then when they even bothered to put the lines up, it's like, why are we even looking at this? There was at least one full, maybe 1.5 strides, like Jack Grealish at full pace. He was onside by about that much, maybe 1.5 strides. And they still spent the best part of it close to a minute looking at it.
They were actually
they do everything in their power to try and use VAR to bring back any opportunities of scoring.
The international commentary was actually taking the piss out of that because it was such a stupid look.
Rich, did you hear the commentary at the start of the game where we were talking about our third kids? He called them migraine inducing. Did you hear that? At the start of the game, he said City are wearing those migraine inducing shirts.
Who said that?
It was the commentator. You obviously listened to it on Optus Sport, didn't you? Yeah. I don't know who the commentator's name was. It wasn't one of the ones you hear frequently. But, he called it at the start of it, just after kickoff. He called it they're wearing the migraine-inducing kit.
Oh, really?
Do you know what? I mean, I heard that.
I have seen better kits in my life, but
I don't understand.
But look, what Rich was alluding to, with VAR and just the inconsistencies is, there's only really one element of technology that's been brought in the game that's been absolutely perfect, and that's goal line technology. And the problem is that with VAR, there's so many, because it's perfectly black and white. There's nothing in between. There are so many grey zones in VAR that I feel like we're at least we're a decade off from it even getting remotely close to being black and white like goal line technology.
Harry Mills has made a great point. I'd have been good if that was against us. I'm not saying, for me, it wasn't a penalty. I'm not saying it wasn't. That's not my issue. My issue is, according to the law of the handball rule now, that was a penalty. You can't. It's not. I'm not saying yes if it had been us, but how many times have we been done for that? How many times have it's the handball rule that they need to figure out. They need to sort this rule out.
It needs to be black and white. Absolutely black and white.
But that's the trouble is that be black and white, the only rule can be what they're doing. If it hits the arm, it's
well, that's the problem. Until you're able to create a rule that's black and white, then it shouldn't exist. Because the inconsistencies make it irrelevant.
Inherent, and this is kind of maybe this is a problem in football versus maybe in other sports. The rules can be more black and white. I mean, an LBW is an LBW, isn't it? And they, it's not an LBW if it's intended. Although there are rules in cricket,
you can still keep the umpire in with umpire's decision for
you don't make and there are rules that are slightly different if you make an attempt and if you don't. So, but that's the problem is to make it black and white, you make it a rule that becomes quite literally someone kicks a ball at you from half a yard and your arm's beside your side.
Yeah.
It's a free kick. And that,
then again, Rich, that's the inconsistencies. That's the thing, because until you find the black and white, there's always going to be inconsistencies. And then if there's that many inconsistencies and creates so much controversy, then shouldn't be in.
And then black and white ruins it because black and white inherently makes it.
Exactly.
My point for me, I'm not disputing whether it was not. To me, it wasn't a penalty. I'm saying, according to the rules, it was.
And maybe
going back to that, don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't make the rules up and then don't give them.
Maybe
it's about the rules.
Maybe it's about investing in the sport. Maybe it's about investing.
Breaking news: Alan's coming on in 10 minutes. So, anyone in the comments? Who said?
Here's a sport that generates billions, billions and billions. Here's a sport where ultimately, if you look at, the officials on the pitch, the referees probably earning, a year what, Haaland earns in a couple of days. You've got not that expensive quality equipment doing all this. I mean, quite clearly they could have far better tech. I'm wondering whether they should actually be investing in the training, investing in the quality of the referees, and taking some of the hundreds of millions in the game and actually putting some investment into making the tech in VAR the best that it could be, and actually having high quality referees. And if that means going overseas and getting the referees, or it means setting up George's Park for referees or whatever it is, but they need to up the quality of the officials. They need to have more high quality officials, because you were talking about it the other day with Anthony Taylor. We still have referees from Manchester refereeing teams from Manchester. We still have referees with real history with certain teams going back and refereeing them. We still have referees who no one trusts, bar Liverpool and United.
That's like rugby league has 2 referees on the field.
Yeah, so I think maybe there's something that needs to be done with refereeing to really lift the quality, training, investment, equipment, and actually try and take it seriously. And because it is amateur hour, and honestly, if there's some corruption or some fixing or some dodginess in there, it's absolutely amateur, because the fans can see with their eyes some of these stupid decisions. The Brighton fans can see with their eyes, and that I haven't seen it, but something happening between Brighton and Spurs could be very, very high chance that decision is worth 100 million to Spurs and costs Brighton 100 million. Because if Spurs get the Champions League place by 1 point or 2 points from Brighton, that decision will have made that happen. And the fact that I'm not saying anything dodgy, but the fact that could be someone making a decision with an inherent or some kind of bias, some kind of whatever, that is absolutely appalling. And I don't see this, apart from in Spain with Barcelona, and that's because don't they have half the referees on some kind of retainer scheme with their old boss or something? Apart from that, it is just dreadful, and it's got to be sorted.
And from a fan standpoint as well too, we've all alluded to it during this discussion as well, is we've brought back previous, injustices, if you want to call it that, like bad decisions that went for us or against us. And that's the thing, is before VAR existed, whenever there was a bad decision, you would rant and rave and carry on about it. But by the time the next game came around, you forgot about it. What's happened with VAR? We're still discussing things that happened 3 seasons ago. Yeah. It never happened when before VAR existed. You forgot about it by the next game. And it was over. It was done. You accepted human error and you moved on.
Yeah, we complain because of some bad decisions against United and Liverpool, but we've had good ones. But what I think is, you can almost, with VAR and with referees, the more supporters clubs have, the more the decisions are in their favour. Because when we get bad VAR decisions, it's not against United or Liverpool. It's usually when we're playing someone, low in the league. And, what a surprise today that a decision would go against Brighton at Spurs. It's never going to go the other way. You never see, United getting robbed at home against Southampton, or, City getting robbed at home via Leeds, or Liverpool getting robbed at home against anyone. You just don't see it. It's always in favour of...
No, it's still going on, Muddy Duck. Still going on, mate. It's been going on for 10 minutes.
And Rich, being Spurs too, you wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Levy's probably on the phone to his media mate saying, "Oh, make sure you put it as a story as like, no, it never really was. Like, I've got a specialist on to say why it is or isn't a pen."
But and then the media is complicit because the media sells to the teams with the most fans. So the media isn't going to want robbery for Spurs. The media is going to want, just brush it over. Spurs are back. Whatever else. I mean, Harry Kane scored a wonderful, beautiful goal to win the game. Well, no, he didn't. He robbed 2 points from another team.
Yeah.
I mean, should I just remove?
I thought I was about to.
Are we done with the impromptu rich rants?
I thought I was about the host. Welcome back to the True Blue Dinky Die
It's
Show.
very calm rant. It's a very calm rant.
I don't know. I went off screen and the teeth started clenching.
Welcome back to the Convict Chronicles. I'm your host, Pat.
Yeah.
Rich started gritting his teeth then at that last part.
Yeah, it's time they gave the smaller teams a fair suck of the sauce, I reckon.
Let's talk about Manchester City's first goal. We did get one before half time. We managed to get a goal, very, very crucial. I always love it when you get a goal just before half time because I think it kicks your opposition right in the unit.
We do a lot. Yeah. I reckon we get the most goals
right in the goal net. And can we just the three that goal? I know KDB assisted it. I'm going to talk about KDB's 100 assists. Trust me. Great finish by Haaland. But Jack Grealish was just all over that goal. KDB with a sublime assist. Haaland with the finish. And I'll be honest with you, to me, that changes the whole ethos of your halftime. Changes Southampton, it changes because Southampton can't go and sit back anymore.
It opened up the second half for us. The only thing that was better executed than Kevin De Bruyne's cross for Haaland was the timing of the goal. It was absolutely perfect. It meant Southampton had to come and chase the game for 45 minutes, and it blew the game wide open for us. And you saw there was as many clear cut opportunities that we missed as many as the ones that we actually took in that second half. That first goal determined the entire second half to me.
Do you think it changes the managers? Because think about it. You look at, is he called Sellers?
Manager? He's
managed 10 games. 10.
Yep. And they haven't won a game since Leicester over a month ago.
So you think about it. A very inexperienced manager has just walked in. A very rampant Manchester City who come into town. And you've gone one down. You think 40 minutes or whatever it was, I'm happy. Done our job. Because he sat there thinking, bob on. This is bob on exactly what we wanted. Frustrate, piss them off, get us into half-time at 0-0. And then that big Norwegian meat machine just turns up and goes, thanks very much. I'll have my 43rd of the season. By the way, he didn't end on 43 either. Because he scored another tap in later on. No one having that one.
An acrobatic overhead tap in, yeah.
So, yeah, I just think it gave us the drive and the impetus to go in that second half. And KDB's come out and said, got told at half time too slow. Be more direct, go. But I think that goal is so crucial because, like I said, a flat back nine works while you're still in the game.
Yeah.
The minute that gets unlocked, changes the whole ethos of it. What do we think? Do you think it was just crucial, timing of it and everything?
Yeah. I think the timing was double crucial, not just before half time, but 40 seconds before Southampton should have taken a lead. Southampton, that ball across the 6-yard box, that was their, arguably as good a chance as the one-on-one, and no one attacked the ball, and we got away with it, and then we took that getting away with it and we go pretty much straight back down the other end, a few passes chucked in between, and we score clinically. And that to me just showed the difference between Southampton, he played, I thought, pretty well first half, and City was just that 2 minutes. We were absolutely clinical.
Yeah. Pat?
Yeah. Just alluding to what I said before, I just feel like, everything was just perfectly executed in the way that we scored that goal. Because, what we did at the end of that half determined how I think most of us felt going into that second half. I really do.
Yeah. And then, obviously, there was no changes, but it didn't take Pep long at all to actually make changes. Riyad Mahrez was exited, and John Stones. And if you, while watching it, you could see Pep. Pep came storming out the seat, and he's pointing away here now. And Bernardo comes on, John Stones comes on, Kyle Walker comes on. Bernardo Silva. Well, where do you want to go? Do you want to start with Riyad or do you want to start with Bernardo? Because I'll be honest with you, as much as I praised Riyad last week, I'm struggling this week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my issue with Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the difference, it's space. And Mahrez.
Do you really think that?
I think Mahrez had a lot less space. I think, honestly, last week was hard to judge because Robertson and Arnold made our wide players look good, and they were good, but they were made to look good. Seriously, at times, Robertson was leaving Mahrez 5-10 meters of space, and Mahrez is a world-class player. He's got phenomenal touch, and if he gets that sort of space, whereas today he was getting swarmed at a bit more. He sometimes had two players to deal with. One thing I'll say about that Southampton team, they're pretty quick, and certainly until they tired, they're quick and energetic. They've got a lot of mobile players. They seem to have quite a young team, and I thought they were kind of swarming a bit and doubling up and putting a bit of pressure. And I think Mahrez just didn't get that against Liverpool. So, it's like, if Mahrez in a couple of weeks, or next week, let's say Cancelo's played for Bayern Munich and Mahrez is up against him, Mahrez is going to have all the space in the world and be, able to absolutely shine. I'm not sure. I don't think Cancelo starts either, to be honest.
No, so what I'm saying is, that's just a viewpoint.
You've got. I mean, it all depends whether Mahrez starts, because I don't think Foden back training.
Foden's back training next week, but he's not going to be fit for the Bayern game. But there's a chance he could play some minutes against Leicester. But he's definitely not going to be fit for Bayern. He is due back training next week, though.
I'd say Phil for Bayern away. Hopefully gets a few minutes at Leicester, so he's not cold start. But I'd save him for Bayern away. I think he performs really well on away days in Champions League.
Yeah, I just look at Mahrez and I think today, I get what you're saying, Rich, but Grealish found bags of space. Because when he made them changes, he went to a 4-2, or was it 4-2-3-1? Yeah. Which allowed Kevin and Grealish to have all that space then.
Yeah.
And that's what I get what you're saying, Rich. And maybe
Grealish interestingly went back into the middle. I like Grealish.
Yeah.
Not thinking he had a lot.
He spent heaps of time in the middle of the second half. Heaps of time.
De Bruyne swapped positions with Grealish for, chunks of the game. You'd have De Bruyne going out wide and putting the cross in, and Grealish coming back into the middle. I mean, we saw that, with one of the goals. Grealish right in the centre of the park, and De Bruyne going out wide and putting in the cross, whereas Mahrez didn't really, that was Grealish and De Bruyne's show. Mahrez kind of stayed where he was and didn't get too involved in that, interchange and swapping around.
I mean, Neil, this is my issue with Mahrez. He's either good or he's bad.
Or he's good or he's bad until he's good.
You never just get that mediocre guy. You get he's either amazing or he's like just not involved. And that's what frustrates me with Mahrez. I have been Mahrez's biggest supporter probably going down the years. When the fans used to boo him and I would go at him and say waste of money and everything else. And he was going, no, give him time. But we keep forgetting this is 5 or 6 years into his career now. And we're still right back where we were 5 years ago. A little bit. And that's all my issue is because he was outstanding against Liverpool. But as someone said, is that because Robertson was crap? Or was that because today, or like you said, Rich, was it no room? All right, I'll change it another way. Was either of you surprised at Mahrez going off?
Well, I know it goes against, the show's agenda and everything, but
here we go.
I think that crap. I think in some ways Pep did all those. He didn't do those things. He didn't do those changes. I don't think because anyone playing badly or anything. I think he recognised the fact that Southampton have pace and they had a number of dangerous chances which came from pace. And I think he thought that we were, Mahrez and Stones wasn't the best way to deal with that. And so I think he brought on a far more energetic, pacey defensive winger and our one brutally quick defender. To try and eliminate that danger. And at the same time, he achieves getting, Stones, one of our most important players, a bit of a rest. He achieves giving Mahrez a rest and it improved, I don't think we saw Southampton, they obviously got a goal, but that was a bit like, a 7-year-old dribbling through 5 players just because they keep falling forwards and the ball kind of goes with their feet and all the players somehow miss it. But it made sense. But I think it was about the whole team and not just about Mahrez. I think it was about strengthening the whole side to eliminate Southampton's danger.
No, Pat. When you all right, then let me throw this one to you, Pat. Why do you think Stones was taken out?
He didn't. Well, he did. His performance against Southampton wasn't as good as it was against Liverpool. But I did notice at one point there when he came off the bench, he did have his. I think he had his leg iced up or something. I noticed he had a bit of an ice pack on too. So. Unless he's got a little bit of a knock, I'm not too sure. Maybe Pep is...
Not again.
What?
I'm not dealing with another Stones injury.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And I think Pep just did that precautionary. I'm sure he probably still wanted to keep him on the pitch because, he was doing a fantastic job. Sorry, work's bloody bothering me. Because he does a fantastic job working inverted alongside with Rodri. But, no, look... when I saw that ice pack, I thought, okay, maybe this is more a tactical thing or anything because I do think he wants to start it for Bayern.
I mean, I'll be honest with you.
I start Stones every game.
Does nobody see Stones as? Do you not think he's because I know Calvin Phillips Calvin Phillips came into the team at the end and looked a lot better. I'll give him that. Yeah. Calvin Phillips, to me, his problem is not Rodri. Problem, like you said the other night, Rich, is John Stones. Because I honestly think he's trying to turn John Stones into Philip Lam.
Yeah.
And I honestly think at some point on Tuesday night, you may even see that Stones Rodri pivot. Like someone's put in the chat. You could just see it where you go, right, there you go. To combat Kimmich. Or to combat Musiala or whatever. Musiala. You know what I mean? And that's my thing. So maybe Stones, because I don't think Stones was bad. Because I'll be honest with you, I thought Walker was worse when he come on. And you're going to think I'm all being harsh, but I'm sorry, I thought he was. But
He did. He actually looked a little cold start.
And that's one thing that absolutely worries me is that Walker needs 2 or 3 games, or a game or 2 to get back up
we'll
every
come back
time.
to Walker
He's
in
a
minute,
cold
'cause
starter. And
what?
if we want to get past Bayern and Real Madrid, we are going to need Kyle Walker at some points in those games, big
I
time.
hate to cut you short on Walker, but I'm going to come back to an actual point on Walker because I want to include the quotes Pep's come out with. I don't know if YouTube's seen the Pep quotes.
Yeah, I've seen those, but
on the embargo.
No,
I know it's quite
taken so out of context.
No, it's not. He's explained why he's not in the team.
Yeah, he has, but that's obvious to anyone that he can't play the inverted fullback.
Do you not think it's quite? All
right,
we'll get into it now then.
Yeah.
Pep's comments then about Walker cannot do that job.
Yeah, which we all know.
The trouble is,
can't do it.
That's our system now.
That's our system, but it's not necessarily going to be our system in every game, and that's
all right then. 90% to 95% of our games, Rich, will be that system.
Yeah,
we'll see. He's going to be happy with 5%.
I think we'll see when we play Bayern and hopefully Madrid whether we can go and do.
You've got to sing with that.
Well, no, because in the Premier League we are playing a game now where we have 70% possession and we're permanently in the other half of the pitch. When we play Bayern and Real Madrid, they aren't necessarily going to let us play the way we want to play. They're going to create different problems for us, and they're not going to be able to sit back at home and do everything they want. So we are going to have to, and we are going to have players getting more fatigued. So I think we are going to have to, we are going to have some more tricks up our sleeves and just assuming we're going to be able to start the same back four for the rest of the season, because it's not going to happen.
A lot of people are saying that yellow card was probably one of the reasons why he went out as well. Forgot about that yellow card. I mean, Callum's obviously... Listen, I'm not saying Kyle Walker's not been a superb Manchester City player. He has. An absolute bargain at 50 million quid. What I'm saying is, sadly, I think he's come to the end of his Manchester City career. I do. I just do. I think the whole system doesn't suit. I think he'll stay next season. And I've always said this. I don't think he'll re-sign. I think he'll stay till next season and then go home to Sheffield United on a free.
I think he'll go to Sheffield United. Yeah, I've got no doubt.
Or if Sheffield United do get promoted, maybe he goes this season with a really low fee.
I think though that head and shoulders, he has shown that he is when we're playing up against the likes of Mbappe and PSG, and when we're playing against the likes of Vicinius, Kyle Walker has shown that he is pretty much our only defender capable of dealing with that kind of player and dealing with it well. And I do not think we will get by Bayern Munich and Real Madrid without needing Kyle Walker at some point.
I agree with that. Well, Neil agrees with you. But because it's Timmy Tuchel, I don't see Koeman, Gnabry and Sane flying down.
And that may be, and this may be less of an issue at home, because I don't expect that Bayern, and if we get past them, Real Madrid again,
they're going to play like Southampton.
But we're going to need Kyle Walker against the forward wide players that those teams have, and potentially even if we get to a Champions League final and we come up against some of the players that, on the other side of the draw, I think we may well need Kyle Walker. And I think, getting something that's now working well in the Premier League doesn't mean it works against every opponent. And so we're going to have a couple of ways of playing and a couple of solutions, which we should have, because there's no reason we shouldn't be able to play, the way we always had. But we are going to have games where we are going to need four at the back more. I agree with you, Rich, and he did it today. But I know the whole back line opened up, but Walker was a big part of their goal. Yeah, Walker. Yeah, but as I said, their goal was like a 7-year-old running through defence in school football. It was
I
just
understand that, Rich, but we can't just go that's like that because Pep ain't going to see it that way.
yeah. But there was 5 defenders around that player, all of whom should have bloody stopped them. And who was it? It was Kanji, it was Bernardo, it was Walker, it was it
Diaz?
Diaz. I mean, it was just like, you know, I'd have fancied me and Pat taking him out. Probably be a penalty, but
see, I'd love Walker Peters, but I don't think
I was going rugby tackle, yeah.
I don't think our system.
And then Edison saves the 10.
I think our new system takes away any overlapping fullbacks like that.
But you see, but Martin, I think this is where
you're gonna go on again now about this.
you get fixated that
no, I don't, Rich.
Pep comes up with a system because of the players he has, the players who are fit, and the squad we have today.
Rich, I'm not going to go down this road again. Right, Rich, you've already told everyone you don't think Pep's going to stick with his 3 at the back. You and Ozzy have made it very clear you think that's not sticking around.
He's going to evolve based on the players he has. And I think what you'll see is Pep has had no choice but to play 4 centre-backs at the back, because for parts of this season, we haven't had a fit or informed fullback. So what else is he going to do?
Pep Guardiola, I'm not doing this, Rich. I know you want to do this. Pep Guardiola has come out and basically said Kyle Walker is not good enough to play.
He has said Kyle Walker cannot play an inverted fullback. Yes.
And that's why he's not played.
He said he can't play inverted fullback.
And that's the reason he's not playing.
That. But he didn't say, oh, and this is the way we're going to play forever. And I'm going to refuse to sign any good wide players ever again because Martin says we're not going to have wide forwards, pace, or fullbacks ever again.
This is like
that's what Pep didn't say. Pep said, I play this way. This is the players I have. He said,
top argument.
He plays the way he plays. And he said it in about 5 press conferences this season. I play this way because it's the players I have. It's the players I have. He has a squad and he uses them. What is the point of him playing with fullbacks if we don't have any? We've got Gomez and Walker, who's been injured a fair chunk of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So what's he going to do? Just play Gomez and be stubborn? No. He's going to play the best formation with the players he has.
If he certainly is, Rich. He certainly
if we sign different players,
I'm not even going to argue with it anymore, Rich, because statistically,
you're going to pretend.
What you're saying.
You're going. It's not. You're going to pretend.
Because statistically, doesn't back up.
You are claiming you know what Pep is going to do forever, no matter what players he has, and that's not true. Pep has evolved, and he plays with the players he has. Do you think Pep intended to play Fabian Delph the way he did in our Centurion season? No, he didn't. But he didn't have an alternative. So he looked at the players he had.
Martin's not seething. Martin's not seething. Because at the end of the day at the very simple end of the day, João Cancelo left this football club because he couldn't play in a back 3.
He left this football club because we started playing a back 3 because he wasn't playing well and Walker got injured. If we'd have been winning game after game with
Rich,
João Cancelo,
stop giving me the BS.
João Cancelo was starting to have an absolute mare. Are you saying Cancelo was playing brilliantly and then, we just...
No, but he started nearly every game, Rich. Playing
badly, and Pep knew he had to change things up because he couldn't keep doing the same thing. And he's got a squad of players. Cancelo's out of form. We can't play him. Can I play Gomez? No. Therefore, I've got to make a change. And that is what happened. He didn't. If we'd won our first 15 games, he wouldn't have gone, right, that's it. I've decided we're going to go to a back 3. Regardless of players, we weren't playing well enough. He looked at the squad he had. There's no cover for Cancelo. Cancelo's losing form. I've got to do something different. And he did something different and it worked. That doesn't mean that we don't sign players and don't go back to things he's done before. Because he changes and he changes and he changes. And that's why we keep winning the league. And I don't know why you suddenly think Pep's settled on a formation for the rest of history and he's going to stop doing what he's always done.
Rich, I never said that. So stop trying to be a smart ass with this.
You said we're never going to play fullbacks again.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, Rich. What I said was
we're never going to rotate. We're never going to play fullbacks
shut
again.
up.
We're never going to sign a winger. We're never going to sign a winger. I mean, God.
No,
I think rumours N'Golo Kante's playing on the right wing next season.
Are you like this with the missus? Do you let her speak?
He talks a lot more sense, so I don't need to.
Rich, do you think genuinely that this season, honestly, Rich, you want to play this? Who's not going to do this straight at the back? I heard it all of you and Ozza, and I won't speak for Ozzy. He's not here. I heard it all about this. We're not going to do this straight at the back forever. The straight at the back's only going to be for 2 or 3 weeks.
We're not going to do anything forever.
No,
so I stand by that.
Rich, what has Pep always wanted to play since he's been at Manchester City?
Pep has always wanted to play winning football since he's been at Manchester City.
You smart ass.
The players he has, he will have that. And I'm not arguing at the moment that playing Ake left back and playing the way we're playing hasn't been the most effective, but nor do I think that means that's the way we're going to play forever. And nor do I think that we are going to be not prepared to change or think about the way we do things when we play different teams.
Exactly, Pat, man. But Rich don't see that.
We never signed players in January.
We didn't buy any fullbacks in the summer either, Rich. We haven't bought for 5 years.
Okay, we didn't sign a striker last January. Does that mean we don't sign? We never play strikers again? No, we didn't sign a striker last January because we had a player to sign.
Everyone's just going, Rich is right. I've not had a chance to rebuttal yet. Anyway, good evening, Alan.
Hi, can everyone hear me first of all?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Right. Yeah, right. Good. Well, welcome back, Alan. And
I agree with you, Batman. It's what he does.
Happy Easter to everyone because it's Easter Sunday for me, Richard, and Pat.
Or for anybody else who's celebrating a holiday. So it might not be Easter. Easter might not be your thing. So happy holidays to everyone else.
It is for Alan because he gets to eat chocolate eggs in his bedroom.
I did well. I nearly got on my eggs out when I saw Erling's the third goal. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. But there we go. So yeah, it was.
Evening, Alan. Anyway, Alan, would you like to tell everyone what you were texting me at half time? And I
wasn't happy.
A mini counselling session.
I wasn't happy first half. I thought we were absolutely shocking until we scored that goal, the header. I thought we were terrible. I thought our midfield was getting battered. I thought the wide men were getting doubled up on. I thought we were shocking. I thought we were second to the ball in every area of that game in the first half. I thought they sussed us out, sorted us out, and we really struggled. And I'll be honest with you, we seemed to lose our shape and lose our concentration once they went clean through from that corner when Mahrez decided to pass it straight to their forward, and we all saw what happened then, and then he completely lost it. But when he changed it from 3 at the back to bring Walker on, play 4 at the back, and play 4-3-3, we looked a better side completely.
We did going forward, went worse at the back.
Oh, it was shocking. We were terrible. We were so nervous. The ball's over the top. We were very, very nervous because they had quite a lot of patience.
I just don't want to Rich inadvertently, and he hadn't realised it.
Well, I just come on because I just had a shower because the game didn't finish till 4:30 last night in our time, nearly 5 o'clock. So I was fast asleep when you texted.
If you could actually see some of the WhatsApp messages I got, shocking.
Well, it's shocking, Martin.
Quite light to what he was saying.
All right, effing awful was what I was saying.
Let me throw this back in.
Go on, read it. I don't mind. Unlike you, I don't mind you reading some of them out.
No, I'm not going to read. No, I don't agree with reading private messages out, Alan. You know, I'm not going to stick your address out in the comments. I can do if you wanted to.
I'm sure it'll be things like Pep out, You know, Wednesday.
Finals in.
We're not gonna make the top 4.
Oh, by the way, someone said that this is pre-recorded.
It's not. I can assure you, it's.
You know what I mean? Pre-recorded. It says live.
Easter Sunday. Yeah, this is live.
Anyway,
just got me out of the pit.
No, just these 3 loons are in Australia. I'm the only true Mancunian here, you know what I mean? Anyway, swiftly moving on.
Right.
While these 3 are sat there with a season ticket, called a remote control, and a pack of AA batteries. Anyway. Do you not give Southampton any credit, Alan? Because as I said to you...
Okay.
Can anybody let me speak on my own bleeding show this evening?
I thought you said it was our show.
Well, it is you know what I mean?
Double standards here. Double standards.
I'll refer to everybody in the comments too.
Is Glodick in Manchester or is it in Oldham?
It's Oldham, mate.
Oldham,
right next.
That's enough for them 2 clowns. Anyway,
oh God.
Right, listen.
There you go.
Alan's actually gone for real. I never beat him out. Where's Alan actually gone? Where's Alan gone? Have you beaten him out, Rich?
He's probably just checking his map for the Oldham boundary.
Yeah.
No. You're just a Glory fan. He should be supporting Oldham, Martin. He tagged on to City for the Glory.
Yeah, I wasn't born at St Mary's Hospital.
Sitting the row in front of Andy Tate.
I wasn't born at St Mary's Hospital, mate.
No, he was born in Oldham General.
My father's never worn the blue shirt at Manchester City. Nope, never. Anyway, swiftly moving on.
Did he swap shirts with Andy Ritchie or something?
No.
He gets the Oldham Chronicle delivered to his house every day, so we know he's an Oldham.
Sorry, Alan, where are you from? Why don't you support Bury?
I'm from Whitefield Bury, mate. That's where
shut up there. Behave. Right. Alan.
Welcome to my mother. There's my mother.
Hello, Alan's mother.
Yeah. But Pat, she's got me a cup of coffee. There, how good's that? Yeah.
Hope it's got a couple of volume in it.
Yeah.
Calm me down. Anyway, I had to do a little bit of a counselling session on Alan at half time because Alan was literally hitting the roof and coming back down. Alan was right wing upside.
Imagine if we didn't score the goal at the time that we did. You'd still be counselling him.
And what did I say to you, Alan? What did I say to you? I said to you, don't worry, we'll score 3 or 4 goals in the second half.
Yeah, he did.
And what happened?
Let's go 3 or 4 goals.
There you go. Just relax. Chill yourself.
Get his zen.
It's about 94 minutes. It's not about 34 minutes. Let's relax.
But did you agree when they went 4-3-3? We played a lot better. You must admit.
Well, we didn't go 4-3-3. We went for double pivot 3-1.
Well, it was a lot better when Walker came on. I'll say that's it for you.
Plus, because you allowed KDB
and Bernardo. And Bernardo, which he should have started. I thought Bernardo should have
started. I honestly think that made a big difference because I thought Bernardo Silva, that's the best he's been for a long time.
Mate,
I know, by the way, I'm sorry.
He should have scored too.
Yeah,
he should have. Yeah, Mr. Chancellor.
But I will defend Bernardo in the same way I defended Grealish. Bernardo Silva is not known for his goals. So let's relax on that. He's not there to bang goals. I know people say he should have done, but he's never been a goal scorer.
Well, you know my opinion on Bernardo. I love the guy. I think he's brilliant. So
I think Bernardo's gonna start but probably the vast majority of the big games we play between now and the end of the season. You know, Bayern's, Arsenal. I think Bernardo's going to play a fair chunk of those games.
And it rich out.
I'd be surprised if Bernardo doesn't start against Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
He may be caught up on another one of those games where he has to run like 12 miles over 90 minutes.
Listen, we love Alan. What it is with Alan is a proper City-itis. Alan will never get rid of City-itis.
No. I'll give you an example. Liverpool, when they make it 3-1, I got worried, thinking, "No, we're going to mess it up. We're going to mess this up."
Stop. Just 1 minute. You don't have to come like we don't have to look up your nose for you to we can hear you.
Yeah. It's not just. It's not just,
the microphone's attached to your head, mate. It's not. I have to. Though.
It's not just City, though. It's not just City, Alan. Like you've had 4 balls into an Ashes test.
Here we go.
And you're already and we've Australia's hit a 4, and you're already writing off the entire test match, and it's a disaster. We picked the wrong team. Someone's too.
Listen,
old.
I've sat. Listen, Richard. Hang on.
Stop. People come on here for proper analytical football debate.
No, they don't.
Chill yourselves. Listen, you know, I don't know what you do over there in Australia, sunshines, but the 3 of you calm yourselves down right now.
Can I say my reply to him for what he just said?
Yes, Mr. Horsfield.
I've sat next to him at the
I'll do
SCG.
my homework for tomorrow, Mr. Horsfield.
I'm going to start giving you a few cards in a minute, you 3. Put your hand up, fingers on lips. Go on, Alan.
Well, I've sat next to Rich at the SCG, and trust me, the garbage he comes out with is unbelievable. Watching England against Australia, but there we go.
Yeah. Anyway, we talk about the.
I don't say anything because most of the garbage is on the field.
Oh God!
I mean, the goal. I know he scored. He got the first one.
Which goal? There's loads of them.
The acrobatic tapping.
Well, we've done the first one, haven't we?
Okay.
We'll talk about the Jack. Well, let's go in order. Jack Grealish's goal, like Pat said earlier on, from where I looked, or the screen it showed on Sky, it looked offside. When they showed the proper angle, it was miles off.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Now, I know he missed the first chance. It was a good save by Banzuna, but Johnny on the spot there put us 2-1 up. And then you go on, and then he does that delightful ball.
2-0.
Well, yeah.
The other thing I liked about the Grealish goal too, Martin, was the run that Grealish made, because if that was Grealish from last season, he probably would have kept drifting out to the left-hand side. He stayed basically effectively on his left post. He didn't run the risk of drifting or let the defender get the better of him. He stuck with it. He went at Gavin Bazunu. If he was in that same position last season, Jack Grealish wouldn't have attempted the goal. He would have held the ball, or he would have drifted further out to the left and hoped for someone to square the ball to. And I'm glad that he took the attempt. And yeah, sure, he was a bit fortunate with the rebound, but all round I was really impressed with the way he handled himself with that goal.
It's a beautiful finish, though. The second one with the rebound. It was
He
absolutely.
laces through it with the left and then just tuck it away with the right. It was technically it's actually a really nice finish.
And then we go on and we get to something that I want to apologise to my wife and everything else. That very sadly, 10 minutes later, I decided to scream my whole house down because I saw something that was just.
Martin, I thought you were always at the games. You wouldn't watch it on a telly and use the remote control. You went to Southampton. Oh my God. What an absolute part-timer.
Before we get the season ticket out. Just let me get the season ticket out. Hang on a minute. What's this? Oh, MCFC Platinum. What's that? Platinum. Can you see it? I don't think
so.
My season ticket, right there.
Family stand. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No. It says Manchester City versus Bayern Munich. Yeah.
So family stand.
Block 111. I'm in block 111. Save standing.
Well, everyone knows where you are now, Martin.
Yeah, come and say hello.
That 7-year-old's following you.
I charge £10 for photos, £5 for autographs.
He wants a selfie done now. Can I have a selfie?
Yeah.
So, by the way, I'm an early queue down at Wembley. Oh, Alan, are you going to Wembley?
No, mate, I'm not, unfortunately.
Rich, you going to Wembley?
No.
Matt, you going to Wembley?
Martin, you know, if you tempt me with that sort of thing, I will do it. Alan can allude to that.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, he will. Hey, trust me.
Yeah. If you poke the bear enough, it will break the cage. I will do it. Yeah.
Matt, you've probably been to more away games this season than Martin, haven't you?
Yeah.
Hang on. And we all know why Pat gets away tickets.
Yes, we do.
I never get offered any, like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I can get you some if you want some, Martin. Let me know. Richard uses the same facilities as we do.
For access to all matchday tickets, follow. Click the link on MCF
Yes.
to join your local supporters group.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing when you're the president of a supporter branch, isn't it?
I know. It is.
No, General Secretary, mate. I don't want the responsibility.
You don't have to be
Oh, what are you doing? Martin got a season ticket I borrowed. Can I have it back? Cheeky sod. Right, no, we talk about the tapping.
He only scores tappings, doesn't he?
But by the way, for someone with a dodgy groin, he shouldn't be doing that.
No.
That's not very. I'll tell you what. When he saw him do that.
Posnating in the stands against Liverpool and then throws a bicycle kick. Did he really have a bad groin? Really?
Right. All I can say is that I'll say what the channel wants to hear and not what really happened. Okay. I jumped up on my bed and bounced up and down like a little child because I was watching it in the bedroom last night at about 3:30 in the morning. But what really happened was what you said to me on the phone, Martin, if you can remember. So there you go. But it was an incredible goal. Incredible goal.
Martin's season ticket.
Have you just literally?
I remember you sent me your season ticket, and I just
I was wondering what he was looking for. He's literally been looking for images.
I've been going through my WhatsApp conversation with you, Martin, to when you sent me.
The boundary part of the latex. Yeah.
By the way,
since that goal, I just want to zoom in.
I live closer to the Etihad. No, I live closer to the Etihad than I actually do Boundary Park. Fact.
Well, all I can say, Martin, is I've got your address because I've sent posts to you. I know it's Oldham, so don't come to me with that. It's right next to
Are you flying over for Wembley Park?
Oh, I'm just changing the subject any quick as fuck. Hey, he's changing the subject. Trust me, Park can get cheap tickets, and we know why. So don't go there.
He means airline tickets.
In all honesty,
still pay the same bloody 80 quid for
airline tickets because he works for Qantas.
I've got to say, Pat, we'll come to you, Rich, and then Misery Guts down in the corner. What a finish! What a run from Grealish! What a ball!
Yeah,
and then
I need to see that.
Should we really be surprised because he
was it off his shin? Was it off his shin?
Oh, here we go. What are you saying? He's Rooney'd it in.
Well, I've been trying to zoom in. I've got to be fair because like 90% of goals like that end up are always shinners. But I agree with Rose. I couldn't zoom in real. I haven't had time to, really look in and think whether it's a shinner or whether he gets his laces to it.
We shouldn't get too surprised because if you've seen the compilations on YouTube of when Haaland was at Dortmund, there was at least a handful of those ridiculous like half bicycle kicks, overheads, and acrobatic sort of, the sort of thing you see from like Shaolin soccer movies and stuff like that. Like the man's just a freak.
I'm from Whitefield, Ray.
Which hospital was you born in?
Pardon?
Was you born at Fairfield?
No. Bealey's in Radcliffe. It's now not there. It's been knocked down now.
Oh, so you weren't even born at a Manchester hospital?
Radcliffe.
Oh dear.
Bealey's Radcliffe.
At least I was born at St Mary's. Anyway, no, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I'm with you. We do need to be, and we're only joking tonight. Absolutely, we're a fantastic team.
I think today's just been a release from what we thought was probably going to be a tricky game because we did analyse it, even over-analyse it, but we're just relieved now that we've got the result. We've got the 3 points.
There you go, Rich. Sweet as a nut.
I hope so.
So that means Sky Sports will never show it. Unlike the Rooney Chin that they showed for 25 years over and over and over and over and over, and it's on every football advertisement going.
Mm-hmm. That'll get like...
Oh, look, is he United fan in? Oh, bless him. They were in a title fight for like 2 minutes.
Mm.
I mean, they might not even make top 4 now. What a shame. Anyway, no.
But I will take this opportunity to admit when I'm wrong. I do now think United are going to stay up. I think they're going to. I think they are going to stay. They are going to be in the Premier League next season. It hurts me to do this.
Yeah,
they're rubbish. I thought they were going to go down, but I do think they've got enough quality and they've got enough points that they are going to stay up in the Premier League next season.
Yeah, and Rich, you also have to praise the progress as well too, because if we look at what they're doing this season in comparison to what they did with Wreck-It Ralph, I think they're only about 3 points better off. So yeah, fair play to all the progress. Yeah, they're doing well.
Yeah.
43
credit where it's due.
43 goals. 43. He's nearly scored a goal for every £1 million he cost in his first season. I mean, when is the guy going to get the credit that he deserves?
I thought he was average. I'm joking.
No, on 43 goals. Just ignore the clown in the chat. He's come to see what it's like to actually be successful because he's had no success for a long time. You'll have to excuse him. I mean, you probably couldn't find Old Trafford on a map with both hands.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, £1 billion pounds spent. £1 billion spent to get the Carabao Cup. You've got to give credit where it's due.
No, 1.4 billion to win the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
He's probably, if he has been to Old Trafford, he's probably stuck in the amount of pee that's stuck in there. It's about 2 meters long, isn't it?
What I love though is you wouldn't actually know whether it was a United fan or a Red Scouse because they are exactly the same now. They come on, they go history, UCLs, and no one has ever been to a football match.
Was it 44?
No one would ever call it the UCL, apart from like some,
it's probably about 12.
Glory fan, teenager, United or Liverpool fan, but United have turned into Liverpool. It's magnificent. Even their grounds kind of turning into Anfield and crumbling and getting everything. It's just turned into what they hate.
Rich, hasn't their ground been downgraded by UEFA and FIFA because they're not in the grounds chosen for the next Euros?
Apparently fans from the rest of Europe don't like standing up to their knees in piss and having a leaking roof on them. So
I think UEFA gave a higher coefficient to a cricket ground of the same name.
Exactly.
Yeah, tell you what, keep your rag in. He's upset because his stadium's falling apart and hasn't been chosen for the.
He's upset because
he looks again. Why does he on keep going?
He's upset because he looks in the mirror and he sees a Scouser. He sees a Liverpool fan and he realizes he's become what he hates. And then his self-loathing is eating up inside. It's hilarious. Just they used to hate each other, and now they're the same. You can't even tell the difference.
Tell he's not from Manchester because he's put Manchester's red. I mean, have you ever been to Manchester, mate? Just out of curiosity.
Of course
not that matters, but don't come in here saying Manchester's red when you ain't got a clue. Anyway,
let's move on.
History.
44 goals, and then we got obviously the penalty, which was. Is anybody going to tell me that wasn't a penalty? Please tell me you're all going to say that was nailed on.
Yeah, it was clumsy. Yeah. It was Walker Peters, wasn't it? Yeah, it was clumsy.
And obviously, the big man. Was everyone happy with him being subbed, by the way? Was you all happy with that?
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah. We'd said previous show, 60, 70 minutes out of him was perfect. Get the legs up. Yeah. Get the legs up. No, remove any sort of cold start. He's ready to go for Bayern.
Correct.
No worries, Rich. And then obviously we got the penalty, and our old Spider-Man just bobs it straight down the middle, and Banzuna is saved the last penalty he got, and luckily enough, but couldn't save this. Keeper dived to the wrong way and straight down the middle, and 4-1 happy days, and we march on. We close the gap. What I do want to say is big congratulations, number one, to KDB, 100 assists in the Premier League now. I think it's his 15th for the season he got today with the 2. He's got, I think he's 9 games now to get the record that he's tying with. I think it's 21 the record, and he's got to get 22. Rich, what are you doing?
I think 20 is the record.
What are you looking for now?
Nothing.
Trying to get the show. Will you get off YouPorn and get back to the normal show, please? Get off it. Your wife.
Martin, can I ask you?
He's found a season ticket for Redcliffe Borough. He's got to show Alan.
Can you do me a favour, Martin? Martin, can you do me a favour and get rid of CR7, please, on the thing? Because he's now set. You sure? They're having a massive argument now. So it's kicking off.
Listen, if the mods want to get rid of him,
it's a teenage ex-scouse.
Ignore it. Anyway, right.
Move on. We've had our say.
Get back to the show. Anyway,
Just have a laugh at him.
Big congratulations to Kevin De Bruyne, 100 assists.
Yeah.
We've closed the gap now, 5 points, over to Arsenal, who have got that massive game tomorrow. I'm looking, it depends if I'm out. If I'm at home, because I've got nothing planned tomorrow, I may do a watch along for it. I am not sure yet. Because I'm going to do a watch along at some point. Depends how we keep going. If I can get the time tomorrow, I will 100% do a watch along for it, because I think tomorrow might be pivotal. Hopefully I'm right, but I may be wrong. But I think, because all it takes, this is what Arsenal need to realise. Does anyone think City won't win all their games? Because I genuinely do think we win all our games. And maybe I'm being cocky, I don't care, but I think we do. I don't see us getting beat in the league, because all our games, like we said the other day, Rich, they've all kind of been nicely moved to the back end of May. Like the tough games, the Brighton game, the Everton game, it's all been shifted to the back end of May, when a lot of things will already be sorted out and done.
Yeah.
I'm getting the sense of the team is basically playing now like they were similar to when we won the 14 in a row to win the formidable season. You get that sense that there's a momentum gaining, a momentum building at the moment, and you feel like we can go on a run, because what we say now is just got to it's 8 more games, and we play 8 of those games between now and the middle to late next month. So it's just going to be constant now, every 3 days. And there is no better manager in world football for playing football every 3 days than Pep. I could see us getting streaky. I really do.
I mean, I have to ask.
I think there'll be a draw. I think there'll be a draw in our last few in one of the games. To throw the spanner in the works. I honestly do believe tonight or tomorrow for you in the UK between Liverpool and Arsenal will have a big bearing on the outcome and what's going to happen. Because if Arsenal manage to pull off a win at Anfield, it's going to be very, very hard for us. Yeah, I think it's going to be very hard for us to overtake them. But if Liverpool do us a favour, and if they play like they did last week, God help us, because they were awful, Liverpool, last week.
No, they will. I know how
we need 7-up. We need 7-up Liverpool. Shut up.
My thing with Arsenal is it's not so much the Liverpool. If Liverpool, I think it's 3 games pivotal. And I'm going to come to Lavia. I know people are asking, we're coming to Lavia. People are asking, I think there's 3 games, because I think City beat Arsenal at the Etihad. I do. I think we beat Arsenal at the Etihad.
Well, either way, we've got to. We haven't got a choice. We can't draw. We can't draw, and we definitely can't lose.
Well, it depends where we go, because if Arsenal, I think it's key. The key games for Arsenal is tomorrow.
Yeah, big time.
Newcastle.
Yeah, and us.
No. And then the Chelsea game.
Well, they better improve because they got beat again last night.
No, I know what you're saying, but I just think it's crucial for them. And I think they will. If Arsenal can beat all them, plus Brighton, but Brighton.
They deserve to win it. They deserve to win it.
They deserve to win it. But
Yeah,
I'll just
big
put
time.
Brighton there.
Yeah.
But Brighton are kind of just they're slipping a little bit now, Brighton. I know they're unlucky today, but
You know, if you had a finals type scenario, City are playing better than Arsenal at the moment. But we messed up in November and October. We messed up in October and November, didn't we? Let's be honest. You know, we
but
weren't
the
great.
thing is, Alan, we've only lost one at home.
Yeah, but our away form wasn't great in that period that we mentioned.
No, I agree with what you're saying, but I just think
great.
right now the bit.
We've only got ourselves to blame if we didn't. If we finished second, we've only got ourselves to blame for that.
Yeah,
awful
I
start.
don't know.
Yeah.
People are asking about Lavia. I know, Rich, you haven't got long. Lavia.
Yeah.
Did you see anything today that made you think bring this kid back?
No.
Get into that in a bit, Alan. Go on, Rich.
No.
At the moment, you know, would I put him or Calvin Phillips in the City side on this season's form? I'd probably say Lavia. But I don't think Lavia is ready to come back to City and play in Rodri's place. I think maybe he has the potential that maybe he can do that. The question is, you know, ideally for City would be he stays, Southampton stay up and he stays another year and we have a look at him after 2 years.
That ain't going to happen, Rich. You know that.
No, it doesn't look like it is. But you never know. I mean, this time last year, you know, we thought there were teams who were absolutely guaranteed to go down and they didn't. You know, so there's going to be some changes down the bottom we don't see. But I don't think we could sign him and expect him to start significant Premier League games or other games for City at the moment. But I think he's got immense potential, and I think he did look good for a chunk of the first half. I thought he was
the best player on the park.
So I think he's got the potential to be good enough for City, but I'd like to see him get more. I'd like to see him get another 38 games starting in the Premier League under his belt next season.
I read a stat too the other day. He's actually the most accurate passer. He's close to 90%. He's the most accurate passer in the Southampton squad.
Do you know my big thing for Lavia? Let me throw this one at you. He's 19 years old.
Can I say something quickly? Isn't his clause of the buyback not until 2024?
Yeah, it's not after the first season.
I've heard, yes, but I've heard if Southampton goes to sell him, it then activates anyway.
Yeah, if they get selling, we get a sell-on part. We've got
no. It works because the way it works is, yes, you are right. That only counts if he stays at Southampton. So, for example, if Chelsea put a bid in for him this summer, or Arsenal, or whoever, or Liverpool, City can go in and go, no, we want him back. It activates, is what I've heard. Whether it's true, I don't know. But the simple fact is...
It voids any other interest.
Yeah, because it then voids everything through. So we've got first refusal and we can go 40 million back.
Yeah. But
it is the next season.
But he doesn't have to say yes to that. He doesn't have to say yes to that.
Well,
here's a question.
I think
with Lavia.
I think he jumps back.
So, Martin, here's a question with Lavia: is if Southampton go down, what do you think would be better for his career, to stay there and hopefully be like, you know, the spearhead to them, you know, hopefully getting promoted again after one season, a la Burnley? Or do you think he's quality enough that if they go down, he should be looking for another employer in a Premier League side?
I think I just think he needs to be playing games.
Yeah, which he will if he stays at Southampton, even if they go down.
Absolutely.
Best thing for his career would be to sign for a side like Brighton, and, you know, going in replacing when they sell Caicedo and McAllister.
Yeah, but we can't get him back then. Mate. This is what I'm saying.
I'm saying I'm talking
about. And then Brighton put a £90 million price tag on him.
Yeah, We can get him back. We just pay 95 million.
Yeah, we're just going to have to pay 3 times the money back out. What I'm saying is that, all right, let me put it in a better way. Calvin Phillips at 28, 29 for next season, or Romeo Lavia at 19.
It's going to be Calvin Phillips, mate. I'll tell you that now. Immaterial.
Did you hear Pep's comments? See, this is where I'm checking with you all. Here his embargo presser. Absolutely raved about Lavia.
Yeah, but he didn't slag off Phillips, mate.
He didn't slag off Phillips. He called him a fat git.
That was about 6 months ago.
Oh, bloody hell. Right. This was 36 hours ago. Pep, we didn't want Lavia to leave. We thought it was best to go for his career. But ideally, we wanted to keep him at Manchester City.
If you watch after the game too, Pep had a big conversation with him too when the players were shaking hands.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think you got to getting a 19-year-old to play backup to a Rodri is a lot easier than asking a 28, 29-year-old to do it.
All right, I'm going to give you a scenario. Who's going to pay 40, 50 million for Phillips?
Newcastle.
I'd let him go to Newcastle for 30, 40 million.
Newcastle want him.
Just cut your losses, lose a few bucks, but yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not. Listen, that isn't me giving up on Calvin Phillips. I'm just saying it's a chance to get a 19-year-old homegrown back in for the same amount of money. That makes more sense as a backup to Rodri than Calvin Phillips does.
And an academy player too, because I've always believed. I think with Lavia with the number 6 role is similar to how I believe the defensive depth should be as well too. I think our 5th choice centre back should always be an academy defender.
And
which is why I believe like in the next season or two, hopefully we'll have like maybe Taylor Howard or Callum Doyle back in the squad.
Yeah, I'll give you a scenario then, Pat. Would Lavia get enough game time to keep him happy at City next season? Or not?
Happier than Calvin Phillips, yeah.
Because Calvin Phillips will seize every opportunity he has, so there'll be a majority of cup games. Any game where we're basically 4-0 up in the league, 3-4-0 up in the league with 20, 30 minutes to play. Champions League in the same thing as well too. Those dead rubber games in group stages, if we're wrap the group up with 1 or 2 games to play, he'll play those as well. So straight off the bat there, you're probably looking at least across all competitions at least 20 to 25 appearances.
Yeah,
and for a 19 or 20-year-old under the tutelage of Rodri, that is for a first season, that is good progress.
Yeah, but I think he will want to play for a team and start 38 Premier League games next year.
Correct, I do as well.
I think he's broken through. He's got form. He's got continued play, and I think I don't know that he'll want to step back. I think he'll want, if he does come back to City, I think it'll be a year or 2 more when he actually feels he's coming in as one of the top defensive midfielders.
Thank you, Mudder.
And thinking he's going to replace Rodri, not understudy Rodri.
Like Muddy Duck says we're really impressed with what Romeo is doing. We have an incredible opinion about him.
Yeah, he is. He's
a big lover of him. And I'm just thinking, people say, Harry Mills said about, sorry, not Harry Mills. It wasn't, he said about Perone. Someone mentioned about Perone. I do apologise. I've lost. I'm just lost. You don't want Jude Bellingham, good, because you ain't getting him. Sorry, I'm just broke. You're not getting Jude Bellingham. You need to give up on that little dream, mate. Who's mentioned about Perone? I think Perone will end up on loan next year. Because Perone is not even getting. Was he on the bench today, Perone?
Yeah, wasn't he?
I don't think he was. What?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. You're right.
That's what I mean. He's not even getting on the bench now. Was it? I don't know. I need to go and check. I don't think he's getting on the bench.
Can I ask you a question, Martin?
No, I think he was on the bench, actually. No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Can I ask you a question, Martin? When is Phil Foden recovered from his illness?
He's due back to train next week. Rich, you have to go. Come back to that. Cheers, Rick. Are you available tomorrow at all? Are you off?
No, I don't think I'll probably be a problem till Tuesday night UK. I've got a couple of days away.
Right. All right. Well, text me because I'm trying to do the buying preview for tomorrow.
Right.
But anyway, take care, mate.
Cheers. Bye.
Just asking me, do I? Oh, I don't know.
What?
What you just asked for.
What about Foden, you mean?
I think I've been told. I got told he's due back in training next week, but he won't be fit till Leicester. I don't think we'll see him till after Leicester.
Okay, fair enough.
I think he'll come off the bench for Leicester, and then hopefully they can.
He might give him some minutes.
Starting for Bayern Munich away.
You got to be careful because you can't. When he's had an operation like that, you can't bring him back too quickly to make it.
No, he wasn't on the bench, Pac-Man. We just checked.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. I don't think Perone will. I think he'll go out on loan next year because they're not.
You'll see the preseason. You'll see the preseasons.
They're not even doing what they promised him. He came out and said, "I came here because I was promised I was going to give opportunities." He's not even on the bench. Gomez is getting on the bench ahead of him, which tells you a lot. Just a quick one, Laporte, no minutes again today.
He's obviously going to go somewhere else, isn't he?
Yeah,
so
he's a protected commodity now.
Who was your man of the match today, Pat?
I think everybody's going to go with the Norwegian meat shield, but I'm going to go Jack Grealish.
KDB.
I've gone Jack Grealish.
KDB wasn't bad either.
Oh no, KDB was exceptional.
Yeah,
but I just think Grealish was again. I think that's three. Well, he got it off Sky TV as well today. I think that's 3 man of the matches in a row.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not bad for £100 million flop, is it?
He's playing well at the moment. He even said that on TV over here. They said he's playing really, really well, which is true. He is playing really well now.
I think Laporte isn't going to play on Tuesday, mate. No chance. I will be shell-shocked, Stephen, if he plays Tuesday. Because
he might play against Sheffield United. That's it.
Yes, he'll play against Sheffield United.
He might.
Yes, Fabrizio else he did. He is on a list. From what I've been told, he's one who threw his toys out the pram very early. You remember when we talked about the Grumpy Five? He was one of the Grumpy Five. And this is what, when me and Rich do banter, but this is what I mean about the 3 at the back. I don't see Pep changing the 3 at the back for a while. Because why would he go through all this upset and heartache to then just change it all back next year?
Can I ask you?
All your fullbacks. Why would you get rid of the wingers? If you're going to change, it makes no sense.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
You're talking about the 3 at the back. Do you think he's going to play 3 at the back against the Bayern Munichs and the Real Madrids if we get through?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, because I think that.
If we play Real Madrid, I'll be more comfortable with Kyle Walker marking Vinicius.
I'll explain why, because I think
I agree with you, Pat.
Yeah, Vinicius is deadly. You need someone.
He asked me a question that never talks, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Ask us. Go on.
No, the reason why is because I think this whole system is for the Champions League.
Even against the wingers that both of them have got, and they're quick.
Won't be a factor on Tuesday, in my opinion. Not know what Tuchel does. Have you watched Tuchel play?
Yeah, no, we saw him when he was at Chelsea.
There you go, then. Do you think he's going to have his wingers flying down, coming at us every 5 minutes?
Well, he's got the ammunition, hasn't he?
Yeah, I know, but this is...
All depends on what Agent Cancelo tells him.
The problem is you've got, and this is what I keep saying, go back to the Real Madrid game. This system is in play for me, and this is just opinion, because of what happened at the Bernabeu last year. When we had that crazy 5 or 10 minutes where we just stopped. And this is where the whole control and passing and all is from. Why would you then change that? Everyone said against Leipzig, oh, we've got quick wingers. If you remember Leipzig, we're not going to play 3 in the back. We're going to go with the 4-4-2. Didn't. He stuck to his whole system. Why would you pee everything off and even get to a point of sticking Bernardo Silva into that position at left back? If you're going to play this 4 at the back, why would you piss Laporte off so much to a point where you understand? Why would you just throw out Laporte like you have done, and then say playing Bayern Munich in your cup? Don't work that way.
He's more cold start than anyone.
Martin, we're talking about Pep and his mad moments in the Champions League. He'll probably play Laporte.
I honestly think I don't. The reason I don't see 4 at the back is because, again, the 3 at the back, or this 3-2-2-3 is for the Champions League. Why would you sell all your wingers? Why would you get rid of all your fullbacks virtually if you're going to go back to this? Why?
Against Real Madrid, I'll be like, I'm with Patrick. I play Walker.
You're going off what fans want.
I'm worried about
what Pep wants. Let's take the fan part out and look at what Pep wants.
Well, at the end of the day, it's all about what Pep wants, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, Pat, let me throw that one to you then, because we're going to talk about this over the weekend. Do you honestly think he's going to go 4 at the back against Bayern?
No, I don't think against Bayern. I'm thinking ahead towards
Madrid.
Real Madrid. Should we make it through the quarterfinals? That's the one that concerns me, because you said it before in previous shows. You said Kyle Walker was at his best when he's up against the absolute quality, speedy wingers, fast forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Walker did in the World Cup. A cold start. Kyle Walker in the World Cup did it against Mbappe.
But
he's done it before. He's done it before. And Vinicius, the thought of Vinicius just terrifies me in those 2 legs if we make it.
Yeah,
Kyle Walker is a perfect answer. Even his pace alone is a defensive weapon in itself.
What was
because
the
it holds up those speedy wingers from support.
What was the lineup against Leipzig? Can anyone remember?
In the first or second leg?
Second leg.
Oh.
I
know John Stones was out there, wasn't he?
Everyone said he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
He played 3-2-2-3.
Yeah.
And the lineup was...
But you can get away with that on Leipzig a bit more than Real Madrid, mate. You still
Edison,
have to just play a slightly safer game.
Ake, Gundogan, Rodri, De Bruyne, Stones, Bernardo Silva, Haaland, Grealish. This 11 I've just read out will be the 11 Tuesday night. I put money on it right now.
Bernardo will definitely play.
This is the 11 for Tuesday night. Predicted now. Edison, Diaz, Kanji, Ake, Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Stones, Bernardo Silva, Haaland, Grealish. That will be your 11 for Tuesday night. Wait and see. Because I like
that. But
why would he go out and make a massive comment about Walker? Bench him today and then go, you're starting again in one of our biggest ever games next week.
It's also to motivate him to do better.
You think he's doing that with Laporte? See, this is what we're doing. We've gone back to sentimentality again.
No, I think Walker plays.
All right, then. We'll have a £10 bet.
You've got to admit sentimentality has to be thrown out the door with such a short space of the season left. We just have to go with...
Let's have a £10 charity.
It's all form. It's all form. You have to look at the form.
We'll have £10 on it, okay?
Right. I'll have £10 to the Alzheimer's Society.
Well, what
I'll
I'll do?
£10 to a charity of your choice.
No, what I'll do is I'll pay the channel £10, which is $20.
No. It's only a bit of fun. I want to give it to an actual charity, an actual cause.
Okay.
And one close to my heart, as you know, is the Alzheimer's Society.
Well, I'll do it to the cancer because, as you.
Well, there you go. No, that's
what we'll do. Raise the stakes a bit more. Make it about 20 or 50.
All right. Well, whatever.
Make it a worthy donation.
I just think, genuinely, I think it's such poor man management to do that. It's like people saying Laporte. Why would you piss Laporte off so much? Why would you outcast him for the whole season and then go, Bayern Munich in your cup?
He must have done something as bad as what it's reported Cancelo did. He must have really.
No,
Boys out of Prem.
Gavardio's too expensive. They're looking at somebody else. But we'll see. They want silly money for Gavardio. Stephen Dempsey thinks he is right. And listen, he may be, but I am 100% certain I don't think he will be. And I don't think Laporte plays. That'd be the biggest shot going.
Question for you, unless we're doing this tomorrow night.
We're going to do it tomorrow. We can
talk
about it, but we can tease them for tomorrow.
All right. Well, no. You mentioned there he's too expensive. Who's the alternatives?
They're looking at a free transfer. Or Bastona. They're looking at the two.
Okay.
Because money's been placed other places, as you know.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait for that to come out. Oh, I am cooking when that comes out. No, and that's the thing, Russ. I get it, but I think we're going into this what fans prefer. We all said remember, you go back. Everyone said Mahrez is going to play against Leipzig, and he didn't. Everyone didn't want Gundogan. They all wanted Bernardo in the middle. Didn't. Why would he mess around with Stones like he does? Why would you practice? Pep doesn't do stuff by accident. Go back to the last 2 or 3 games. He's put Stones from centre back into the invertedness. Do you not think he's doing it to practice something? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is method behind Pep's madness. Pep doesn't just do things on a whim. I honestly, this is what I mean. I think Stones will be the inverter on Tuesday. If I'm wrong, I'll happily pay the money because it's for a good charity. But that's all it is. That's it. And Kidia from Frankfurt, that's the guy they're looking at on the free.
Okay, fair enough.
Because if you can get the money in, and honestly, I do think Laporte goes. We'll talk about this in the summer. Do we get the money for Laporte? No, I don't think we do. The money that we'd want.
And more importantly, will Laporte get the size of salary that he wants? Because if that doesn't happen, we have to pay him out.
No, because I think Alan will take a dip in wages just to get playing time.
But let's not forget, too, he's not exactly on astronomical wages. I think he's on something like close to 180, 200,000.
Yeah, but
compared to other centre backs is relatively affordable.
Patrick,
PSG would pay a quarter mil a week straight away.
Well, as long as it's PSG, but if it's not, no one else will pay that.
No,
Juventus want him.
They won't pay 180,000.
No,
so you wonder what Juventus financial limitations have been imposed on them.
Can I ask you a question?
Reduction earlier in the season.
Right. Let me work this out. 3, 6, 9. How many appearances do you think Laporte's made this season in total?
Well, including off the bench.
Including all competitions.
All competitions, all appearances.
12, 10.
He has started 6 games. He's made 7 appearances in the Premier League. He's played 90 minutes in 6 of them. The last time he played for Manchester City was Nottingham Forest away.
And he started that, didn't he? Yeah.
How many do you think he's played then in the Champions League?
Ooh, not many, maybe 1 or 2.
3.
That's not starts either, yeah.
3. Both Copenhagen and then the Seville game when we were already qualified. Who do you then think, what do you think then about the FA Cup?
I don't think he started any.
3.
Okay.
No, 2 games he started and he came off the bench against Arsenal. And then the Carabao Cup, he's made 3 appearances in that.
In his defence too, I think at the start of the season, there's a reason to believe that Pep would have protected him in a way because of the way he ended last season. The fact that he was coming back off, he effectively won us the league on one knee and then spent most of the off-season getting his knee repaired. Because if you saw the photos of him in the off-season, he was hanging out with his brother in the Basque region. He had like this massive knee brace and, the pressure sock or whatever they call him on his knee and everything, and even then he was still wrapped in a bit of cotton wool for the start of the season. So I can understand why the numbers were down from the start of the season, but yeah, to me, because the appearance numbers are still so low, there's something has happened off the pitch, I think.
Yeah, I just think seriously, sometimes the writing's on the wall. People have to leave for people to come out.
Yeah,
we can't refresh the squad or players, and we're not going to sell people.
Yeah,
because then you've still got Peroni. People want to bring the youngsters back. This is a show we're going to do nearer the end of the season when everything's done and dusted. That's when we'll get into it, and we'll actually go through this because I think it'll be a really good show to talk about who's done, who isn't, who we think is going to move.
Yeah,
because I have my own personal opinions, like Bernardo Silva. I don't want him signing an extension, not because I'm against him, but the simple fact is, why should a pile of money suddenly make the weather okay? Why bitch and moan about the weather for 2 years?
Hang on. I told you this ages ago. If he was having an increase,
but I don't agree with it, Alan. But I think it's wrong. That's what you call a mercenary.
Yeah, well, that's what professional footballers do.
No, then sorry, bye. Sorry.
We don't want another Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, don't slag up Manchester for 2 years and then turn around and go because you get an extra 50 grand a week. Suddenly Manchester's all right again. No, I'm sorry. I'm not padding your pension for you, sunshine. Be here because you want to be here. Don't be here because you're getting paid for it. I'm not doing that. I'm sick to death of Manchester City doing players favours. I know it's nice, I know it's respectful, but we can't do everyone a favour.
Well, I told you ages ago he was angling for more money and then a free transfer to Benfica at the end of his extended contract. That's what I said to you. And I put money on it. Was right. I'm right.
Sorry. Right. Can we just get rid of him? Thanks very much.
I think it's even more reason why I want us to win the Champions League this season, because then at least if he leaves, he can leave knowing that he's won everything with us.
Correct.
Yeah, leave on good graces, leave on good terms.
Yeah,
with success.
It's going to be very difficult.
Walk out the door with a
no one's getting rattled, mate. You said you weren't going to do the spamming stuff, and now you're coming in spamming to stop. Have a laugh. But don't come in with your spamming and talking about Manchester this, because you're not clear of us. You're crap. Sit back in your box, enjoy the History Channel, have a load of fun, but your team and manager are garbage. Deal with it. Anyway.
Just get rid of him, the prat, whoever.
Anyway, no, at the end of the day, I'm just thinking it's going to be an interesting. But we'll talk. But honestly, you earmark that. We'll see where we're at on Tuesday night. But anyway, Manchester City have won. I think, is that 12 unbeaten now? 13 unbeaten?
12.
8 in the league, yeah.
8 straight.
There you go. All good times. But anyway, big thank you to you fellas. Pat, thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin.
Thank you, mate.
You can find me on MCFC Sydney on Facebook and Instagram, mcfc.sydneyblues. Myself and a couple of guys from our branch, we do a podcast called the Early Bert Podcast, BERT. You can find that on SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. As Martin's alluded to in previous shows, we do have a bit of a nice little back catalogue of previous episodes. Unfortunately, Danny and Jeff are just really busy boys at the moment, so we haven't been able to get on the mic and do a show, but we do promise that we'll have one coming up in the not-too-distant future. So that's it. And, of course, I just alluded to those supporter club pages like MCFC Sydney on Facebook and Insta. They are affiliated to our official supporters club here in Sydney. So if you're ever in Sydney, you want to watch a game with us, we'll be down at Cheers Bar, 561 George Street. And, if anybody's in town this Wednesday morning, local time here in Sydney, we will be there for the Bayern Munich match at the bright old time of 5 o'clock in the morning, but looking forward to it. And it should be a great game, and looking forward to having a few people out there.
Yeah. Alan, thank you for joining us, mate.
No, it's happy Easter to everybody, and just a plug for the Melbourne branch. They'll be at the Imperial Hotel on the corner of Spring and Burke Street in the centre of Melbourne. on Wednesday morning for the Champions League game. So please get down there. I'm down on holiday break at my family's in Tasmania, but the Imperial will be open for the Champions League game at 5 a.m. for the game against Bayern Munich. So get down there if you're a City fan and enjoy yourself. There will be loads of lads down there. Cheers.
Are you in work Monday, Pat? Are you off? Is it bank
At the
holiday?
moment, yes. But I am trying to change my schedule to work later. So, yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I get it confirmed. But I'll try and jump on for the Bayern
If
Munich.
we go to 10:30 tomorrow, because I'm on another show at 9, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
If we do 10:30 tomorrow, would that work for you two?
Yeah.
At this stage on my work schedule, no. Earlier or later doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. But if I can change to start later, I should be okay to jump on. But I'll find that out over the next few hours.
When you mean tomorrow, do you mean what
24 hours from now for us, Alan.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, your time Tuesday morning now.
Yeah.
Monday morning.
Monday I could do. Well, we're off. It's a bank holiday, so it's Easter Monday.
It's not for Pat.
Well, yeah.
He works for Quad. He's worked for Quad.
I'm all about the moolah, baby.
Anyway,
I'm
yes.
all about those penalty rounds.
If we can, we will be live tomorrow. Either way, I'll do it on my own if I have to. 10:30 tomorrow night, we will be back with the Bayern Munich preview.
7 here.
The only reason we do it is because we want to get everyone to watch it as best they can and enjoy it, so not everyone's rushing around. And then we'll be back. We'll do the preview tomorrow, and then we'll be back Tuesday night. It will be late because I'm at the game. So it will probably be 11-ish, 11:15 on Tuesday night for us.
Wednesday morning
Yes.
for us, yeah.
So, we'll try our best. But anyway, big thank you as well. Get well, Stephen. Hope you get. Also, go over to Never a Foul. I was on that earlier with Mo and the rest of the gang. Kendall, big Newcastle fan. You probably all know Kendall is. She was on there. There was loads of people on there. I was repping Manchester City.
Good.
And went down. Big thanks to Daps for that. Go and give all. I put a list of City channels in our description that you can get on and get subscribing to as well. Support the channel. I need to put JSGCs in. I haven't put his in. But big thank you to all. We're trying to get to 2,000 subs by the end of the season. I know it's a massive ask to do it in 2 months. A massive ask to get 500, nearly 600 subs in 2 months. But you don't ask, you don't get. Please pass this around. Please get it smashed out. The more likes, the more commenting, everything. I know it's been a bit off the wall tonight. It's a bit of banter. But Stephen, honestly, mate, get well. And I hope everything works out for you, mate. And that's why cancer research as well as Alzheimer's dementia are very strong for me and Alan. And that's why we're going to have the charitable bet we're going to do. Because it's not about that. We're just doing it because I think we need to promote charities as well. Because all of us are going through bad times at the moment. And Stephen, I wish you the very best and I hope you get well. And if anyone's suffering with any issues, please, best to you as well. Keep smiling. I hope the show has given you a little bit of happiness and a smile. But Manchester City certainly make us smile as we motor on into this title race. And we pray Liverpool do us a favour tomorrow at the mighty Anfield. I love Liverpool. Get there and get it done, boys.
Hopefully tomorrow will be the one. Hopefully tomorrow will be the Mind the Gap show.
I hope you raucous that place down. What an atmosphere Anfield is. It's a cracking ground. Get there and enjoy it. It's a superb place. You never walk alone at Anfield. You don't. Hopefully Arsenal do tomorrow. Stop. Tomorrow Liverpool are our friends. Take care.
Right. All right. See you guys
tomorrow at 10:30.
Happy Easter to everyone back home.
Yes.
Happy Easter. Happy holidays.
Well, happy Easter if you do celebrate it, and enjoy your family time as well. Take care.